So how do you get Linux running on the second monitor? For this you need an adapter that has USB output and monitor output. In this case, this one can attach VGA and HDMI, and also two USB outs that are connected to an external hub where mouse and keyboard are plugged in. If you want to use mouse and keyboard and the display link adapter that's connected to the second monitor and mirrors the output, you must not plug in the power at first. If it's running, then you plug in the power. Otherwise, the mouse, keyboard and the display link will not work right. So you've done this. Then you need to go to install the applications. What we need is the app called Termux and Vnc. We need to start Termux on the mirrored screen or on the phone screen, because on Huawei the copy and paste command does not work right. So I go back to the phone monitor, and if I want to type into the center menu here, Termux, the keyboard pops up and it's disturbing. So we need to get this deactivated. For this, we click on the settings button, we click on physical, we click on search for physical keyboard, then we find physical keyboard and show virtual keyboard. We deactivate this one, and we don't get the keyboard shown until the next connection. It will always pop up again. If we disconnect and reconnect the USB-C adapter, it will be back there. So this is deactivated. Then we go back again and need Termux. So if you have opened Termux on this screen, then we go back to the deck screen or the easy projection screen, and then we go and open Vnc. If Vnc is opened, we find the different distributions we can install. I chose Ubuntu. I click on Ubuntu, click on install or scroll down, and when you scroll down or go down, you find the option which says copy. What it does, it copies the command into the clipboard. If you have copied this, you go back again to the phone screen and copy and paste. In this case, just paste it. What it does, it downloads the Ubuntu installer. This script also starts into Ubuntu. I already have done this. So I jump this step and I directly start ubuntu.sh. You have to do it always if you want to use Linux on the second screen, so or on another screen. So I started here, then I go back to the Vnc helper. On the Vnc helper, I go down and choose the environment that I want. In this case, I've chosen XFCE. Again, it copies the command to the clipboard. Then I go back again to the phone screen, click paste, and again it installs the XFCE desktop environment. I already did this as well, so I skip this step. If it's installed, I need to exit Termux on this screen. I exit it. Then I go back to the screen and I have to open Termux on this DeX or easy projection. So I open it here. When I've opened it, I need to change to Ubuntu. That means again I need to start ubuntu.sh. I must do it at least on Huawei because of the power management. It has to run on the easy projection monitor, or the DeX environment, because if I have it open on the phone screen, the power management will pause Termux, and it does not work. It only works if it's opened and running on the DeX monitor. So I start this, and then I need the Vnc server to run. The Vnc server should be in the alignment or geometry of the phone screen. For this screen, it is you can only choose a different alignment or geometry if you added a new user. In this case, it's also better to have Vnc server not running as root. You add a user with the command add user and then the name you want to add. In my case, it's Lars. I already did this. If you have done this, you need to change to the user with the command su Lars. So you jump into the new user you created, and if you're there, you can start the Vnc server with the geometry of the screen you want. For my phone, it's 1900 by 900. That works best. It's not 900 works best. So yeah, because it has not been closed down right, I have now to use the localhost .5 connector, and we also need to have Vnc server installed. So I chose real Vnc. This one, real Vnc, works best for me. So I go back to the phone screen and I open the Vnc server here. So then let's make a new connection. So we choose localhost, and as just shown me, it's no, it's actually 6. So 6. My name is Termux. Then I connect, and it will ask for the password. So I just use a simple password for testing, and yeah, just remember, and then continue, and voila, here is your Linux desktop. Yeah, what do you want to do here? As with Samsung, you can move between the screens with your mouse, so it's easy to use. For Huawei, you have to use your phone screen like a touchpad, and it's actually pretty okay to use. If you've started it, you basically have no browser, you have nothing on it. So if you want to install something, you have to go back, because you're logged in as a user for safety reason, because you also expose your phone to the local network. So just for example, to see what's actually happening. So I try to log in with You can also log in from a second site. This would be Android box. You could log in from your Android Vnc Android box, or from different phone or different computer to your phone. So you should not log in as root when you start the Vnc server. Do it always as a user. This is a safety issue. So then you want to install some software. You go back to the DeX screen or the easy projection screen. Then you have to log out of the user with exit, and then you can install you can install the software that you want. I highly also recommend to install another launcher, which should... So to install a better menu than the one that is coming, you install the Whisker plugin. So XFCE Whisker menu plugin. So no, there's a word missing. Plugin. So I already written here the following apps because they are not installed. It's Firefox, LibreOffice, GIMP, Inkscape, Scribbles, XFCE, Whisker menu. They are already installed. So I can go back to the screen, and I have them at the fingertips. So you want LibreOffice, there's LibreOffice, you want GIMP, there's GIMP, and maybe you want Inkscape. Then there is also Inkscape, but I have to remind you, your device has only this device has only 6 GB of RAM, and this will be always the limitation. There's I think there's a swap file of 1.2 GB on the phone, but you will, if you run too many applications, you will run into a memory problem. But you see, you can install everything what you want. You can also, with on Samsung, you can use it properly. You have your full office, you have everything you need, and it's actually very responsive. I didn't expect that, and yeah, I just try now to get it running on a third monitor, maybe also to get one helpful application like Synergy running. That would allow you to move your mouse between the screens. It's a KVM switch or something. Maybe you can. So yeah, now I have everything running up, and I try to get the second instance of Vnc Server running, so we basically have 2 full monitors using. Okay, that's it.